Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5, Chapter 26, Sloka 8 to 10, by Sundar Gopāl Prabhu, about the sinful reactions of the life. Please repeat. Tatra yastu paravitta patya kalatrani apaharati sahi kalapasha baddho yama purushair ati bhayanakais tamishre narake balan nipatyate anasanu dapana danda tadana santarjanadivir yatanavir yatyamano jantur yatra kashmalam ashadita ekadeva murcham upayati tamishra praye tatra. In those hellish planets, yeah, a person who but paravitta apatya kalatrani, the money, wife and children of another, apaharati, takes away, saha, that person, he, certainly, kalapasha bandhaha, being bound by the ropes of time or yamaraja, yamapurushai, by the assistance of yamaraj, ati bhayanakai, who are very fearful, tamishre narake, into the hell known as tamishra, balat, by force, nipatyate, is thrown, anashana, starvation, anudapana, without water, danda tadana, beaten with rods, santrajana adibihi, by scolding and so on, yatanadibihi, by severe punishments, yatyamanaha, being punished, jantuhu, the living entity, yatra, where, kashmalam, misery, asha ditaha, obtained, ekada, sometimes, eva, certainly, moksham, painting, upayati, obtains, tamishra praye, in that condition, which is almost entirely dark. Translation by Sundar Gopāl. My dear king, a person who appropriates another's legitimate wife, children, or money is arrested at the time of death by the fierce Yamadutas who bind him with the rope of time and forcibly throw him into the hellish planet known as Tamishra. On this very dark planet, the sinful man is chastised by the Yamadutas who beat and rebuke him. He is starved and he is given no water to drink. Thus, the wrathful servants of Yamaraj cause him severe suffering and sometimes he faints from their chastisement. Please repeat. My dear king, a person who appropriates another's legitimate wife, children or money is arrested at the time of death by the fierce Yamadutas who bind him with the rope of time and forcibly throw him into the hellish planets known as Tamishra. On this very dark planet, the simple man is chastised by the Yamadutas who beat and rebuke him. He is starved and he is given no water to drink. Thus, the wrathful servants of assistants of Yamaraj cause him severe suffering, and sometimes he faints from their chastisement. Text 9. The destination of a person who sleely cheats another man and enjoys his wife and children is the hell known as Andathamishra. There, his condition is exactly like that of tree being chopped at its roots. Even before reaching Andathamishra, the simple living being is subjected to various extreme miseries. These afflictions are so severe that he loses his intelligence and sight. It is for this reason that learned sages call this hell Andathamishra. Text 10. A person who accepts his body as his self works very hard day and night for money to maintain his own body and the bodies of his wife and children. While working for himself and his family, he may commit violence against other living entities, such as such a person is forced to give up his body and his family at the time of death. When he suffers the reactions for his envy or other creatures by being envy of other creatures by being thrown into the hell called Gaurava. Or put by his divine grace, Sundar Gopāl. In Srimad Bhagavatam, it is said, Yasyatma buddhi gunapetri dhatuke swati kalatradishu pauma ijjati yattirtha buddhi savilena karichit janeshu apigneshu sayeva gokara. One who accepts this bodily bag of three elements by mucus and air as his self, who has an intimate relationship for an intimate relationship with his wife and children, who considers his land worshipable, one who takes bath in waters of the holy places of pilgrimage, but never takes advantage of those persons who are in actual knowledge, is no better than an ass or a cow. Srimad Bhagavatam 10:84-13. There are two classes of men observed in the material concepts of life. Out of ignorance, a man in the first class thinks his body to be his self, and therefore he is certainly like an animal, Sayeva Gokara. The person in the second class, however, not only thinks his material body to be his self, but also commits all kinds of sinful activities to maintain his body. He cheats everyone to acquire money for his family and his self, and he becomes envious of others without reason. Such a person is thrown into the hell known as Raurava. If one simply considers his body to be his self, as do the animals, he is not very sinful. However, if one needlessly commits sins to maintain his body, he is put into the hell known as Raurava. This is the opinion of Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Although animals are certainly in the bodily concept of life, they do not commit any sins to maintain their bodies, mates, or offspring. Therefore, animals do not go to hell. However, when a human being acts enviously and cheats others to maintain his body, he is put into a hellish condition. Om Ajnanatimirantastya Gnananjanakshilakaya Chakshurmenilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Putale Swayam Rupagadamanyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yudapadakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Harijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Pada Sadhana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitam Sha Ve Krishna Karuna Sindho Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिधि नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशकारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे।
Thank you for coming on Sunday, Srimad Bhagavatam, 5th canto, 26th chapter. How a person goes to heaven. So going to hell is not a myth. Some people think that this hell, heaven is all some, what we say, stories, right? They think that it is some invention of some religious person to create fear in the hearts of a human being to make him come to some form of surrender. So this is kind of a creating situation whereby it propels a person to take shelter of the Lord. Is it not? Right? If you don't surrender, then you're going to go to hell. Right? So this kind of action kind of contributes, let me say, fear in the heart of the living entity. So people who are not interested, they think this is all some joke. There's no heaven, there's no hell. Everything is man-made. Huh? Yes? So to verify this, in the fifth canto, the 27, how many gates? 27, 28, 28, 28 gates of hell are listed, and how a person can go to such a hell. Huh? If he does this, he goes. If he does that, he goes. So here today you can see if a person is so much adept in maintaining his family, wife, children, and his wealth, innocently killing other living entities, yeah, in the pretext of trying to feed his family, is subject to be taken to hell, may commit violence against other living entities. Such a person is forced to give up his body and his family at time of death. So in this verse 554, Nunam Pramat Kurute Vikam. So in this verse,
नूनं प्रमत्त कुरुते विकर्म यदेन्द्रिय प्रीत्या आप्नोति न साधु मन्ये यदात्मनोऽयं तन्नपि क्लेशद आशतेह. When a person considers sense gratification the aim of life, he certainly becomes mad after materialistic living and engages in all kinds of sinful activity.
see that point here? So when a person considers sense gratification the aim of his life, he suddenly become mad after materialistic living and engage in all kinds of sinful activities. See this point here? So when a person is engaging in sense gratification, then it tantamount to committing sinful activity. Nunam pramata kurute vika. Indriya pritya. Indriya. So whenever there's sense gratification, then sinful life will be a phenomenon. So when you do sinful life, and of course you have to pay. Huh? It's not that you can enjoy what we say whimsically and get no return. You understand? Committing sin entangles the living entity further into material entanglement. Where is it stated in the Bhagavad Gita?
एवं प्रवर्तिता
Hmm?
एवं प्रवर्तिता. If you don't
Bhagavad Gita. Huh? Anyone? Bhagavad Gita, hello?
यज्ञ एवं प्रवर्तिता. You don't stop.
Oh, 5:16. No. What is the word? 3:16. 3:16.
एवं प्रवर्तिता चक्रम प्रवर्तिताम प्रवर्तितं चक्रम नानु वर्तयतिह या अगायुरिन्द्रियारामो मोगं पार्थ सजीवति.
No, but here it doesn't say that you get into sinful activity.
There aga is
Agayur, Indriya Ramu, Mogam, we just get illusion.
no, agayu is sinful.
Sinful, correct, but it doesn't say you go to hell in this verse, no?
Okay.
Where's the verse it says if you enjoy sins, you go hell? Bhagavad Gita. Yeah? Sixteen, hello. Yeah.
अनेक चित्त विभ्रांत मोहजल प्रसक्तः कामभोगेषु पतन्ति नरकेषु शुचो.
Yeah. Hello, Sanskrit.
नरके.
So, Aneka Chitta Vibhranta. You know what is this word? Vibhranta means? Huh? Pramata. Vibhranta means it become what? Completely bewildered. Branta. Huh? Completely perplexed, Vibhranta. Bewildered. Moha, Moha Jal. This material world is Moha Jal. Samambritaha, surrounded, prashakta, attached, kama bhogeshu, to sense gratification, patanti, they glide down, narake, into hell. asucha, unclean.
Translation. Thus, perplexed by various anxieties and bound by a network of illusions, they become too strongly attached to sense enjoyment and fall down into hell.
So why this sense gratification is very much detrimental? Hmm? Why is this sense gratification very much detrimental? Why? Explain in this verse. When you engage too strongly attached to sense enjoyment, you become perplexed by various anxieties and you become bewildered. That's not that verse. Agaham Indriya Ramo
Mogam Ardas.
Moga. You get you are bewildered. So when you engage in sense gratification, the consequence is that you get bewildered. And what is that bewilderment? What is the bewilderment? You forget your true identity. You forget your. That's explained also when? Where is it explained? You forget your identity.
Bhayam Ditya.
Anyone can explain? So many places. Where? 5516. 5516.
Yes.
See, when you engage in sense gratification,
due to ignorance, the materialistic person does not know anything about his real self-interest, the auspicious path in life. He is simply bound to material enjoyment and lusty desires, and all his plans are made for his purpose, for this purpose. For temporary sense gratification, such a person creates a society of envy, and due to this mentality, he plunges into the ocean of suffering. Such a foolish person does not know about this.
then becomes bewildered. So what is the root cause of all these things? Sense gratification. Correct? So what is the cause of sense gratification? What? What is the cause of this sense?
Material.
What? One by one.
Kamayesha, Krodayesha.
It all comes by the lust. And that comes from the mode of. That's why this mode of passion, Krishna says, is your greatest. Vidhiyenam Vairina. This Vairina means enemy. Who's your enemy? The Rajagun and Tamagun. What it says in that verse?
Sri Bhagavan Guvacha, Kamayesha, Krodayesha, Rajoguna Samudbhava, Mahashano, Mahapapatma, Papma, Vidhi Eva, Yenam Hi Vairanam.
So there are three modes of mental nature. So Sattvagun, Rajagun, and Tamagun. But this Rajagun and Tamagun is very detrimental, very detrimental.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, it is lust only, Arjuna, which is born of contact with the material mode of passion and later transformed into wrath, and which is all devouring sinful enemy of this world.
Is that? So if a person gets into the mode of passion, then one thing after the other develops. Right? Correct? What is that? Bhagavad Gita. Senses act with the sense object. Yeah? What? What gets?
ధ్యాయతో విషయం
Jayato Visaya Pumsan.
సంఘాత్ సంఘాత్ సంజాయతే సంగస్తేషు ఉపజాయతే సంఘాత్ సంజాయతే కామ కామ క్రోధోపి జాయతే. While contemplating the objects of the senses, a person develops attachment for them, and from such attachment, lust develops, and from lust, anger arises.
Next verse.
Next. क्रोधात् भवन्ति सम्मोहात् स्मृति विभ्रमा स्मृति भ्रंशात् बुद्धिनाशो बुद्धिनाशात् प्रणश्यति. From anger, complete delusion arises, and from delusion, bewilderment of memory. When memory is bewildered, intelligence is lost, and when intelligence is lost, one falls down again into the material pool.
Yeah. So you see how everything goes in sequence. There's also another class of people who are very much attached to the performance of sacrifice. You know, karma kanda. They are also very attached to what do we say, materialistic gain, and they worship all the demigods. Do you know?
Yes.
Well, you know where that verse is?
Vedavada.
Huh? Do you know?
Vedavada.
Veda what?
Vedavada.
Come on. Where? Otherwise you will fall asleep. Better to keep you engaged. Tell me.
Tell loud.
9:15. What is 9:15?
Like all other.
Hopefully out of context. Hello. There's another class of people. It's 11. Give you a clue. 11:21, I think, or 11:20. Those who are interested in this, you know, huh? Bhagavatam, yeah, 11:21 or 20. Those who are interested in this worshipping of the demigods, Vedas, into this Vedas.
21.
Is it? Can you check for me? So there they are worshipping, they are into this Veda, and they are into the karma kanda thing. And they worship demigods so they can get promoted to the heavenly planet where they want to enjoy godly delight. And when their term is finished, they want to come back here again and take birth in aristocratic family. Do you know? Hello? 11:21. Huh? Can you take out? See here, see this is another class of people, you see. They also want sense gratification. Huh?
The worshippers of demigods think we shall worship the demigods in this life, and by our sacrifices we shall go to heaven and enjoy there. When that enjoyment is finished, we shall return to this world and take birth as great householders in aristocratic families. Being excessively proud and greedy, such persons are bewildered by the flowery words of the Vedas. They are not attracted to topics about me, the Supreme Lord.
See this thing? So there's another group of sense gratify also. They want to enjoy. Yeah? So what's wrong with this kind of thing? By doing that, they cannot get attracted to Supreme Lord. On the contrary, this verse can be expanded to another place. You know where? Do you know where?
Like one who worships Krishna doesn't interest.
Huh?
One who worships Krishna does not interest in this.
No. Those who are doing these things. What is this? What happens when you do this kind of thing? Hello? Are you following me or not? 11, 5, 8. 11, 5, 8. Open.
The materialistic followers of Vedic rituals, giving up the worship of the Lord, instead practically worship their wives, and thus their homes become dedicated to sex life. Such materialistic householders encourage one another in such whimsical behavior. Understanding ritualistic sacrifice as a necessary item for bodily maintenance, they perform unauthorized ceremonies in which there is no distribution of foodstuffs or charity to the brahmanas and other respectful persons. Instead, they cruelly slaughter animals such as goats without any understanding of the dark consequences of their activities.
See this thing here? So although they want to worship demigods and they want to get promoted, but they also get into this program. What is that? Slaughtering animals. Huh?
Prachinabari was saying King Prachinabari from fourth camp.
Prachinabai is another subject. Is killing the animals and performing sacrifice. That is the king, no? Kshatriyas are allowed to do that under rules and regulations. See, another important point in this thing is that they say just now they say they are not interested in worshipping the Lord, right? In the previous verse, is it not?
Yes.
Huh?
Yes.
You can see the next verse. Is it the next verse? Let's go down.
The intelligence of cruel-minded person is blinded by false pride based on great wealth.
See, this is the thing here. Sense gratification bewildered. You see that? Blinded by false pride. You see? You get bewildered. And then
Opulence, prestigious family connections, education, renunciation, personal beauty, physical strength, and successful performance of Vedic rituals. Being intoxicated with this false pride, such cruel persons blaspheme the Supreme Personality of Godhead and his devotees.
say this point is this is why he has to go to hell. This is why. Why he has to go to hell?
Blaspheme.
You want to put this thing like that they all cannot see it. Huh? Yeah. See the thing here now? You understand? Are you following? Hello? Huh? So in other words, they are trying to become very popular materially. Eh? Kunti Devi was also saying one point in those who have got high birth, Janma, Aishwarya, Shuddhi, Sribir.
Yeah.
You see, so people who have all these things, there's Janma, Aishwarya, Shuddha means the one who is very expert in Shastra.
Srivir.
Sribir means those who have got what? Wealth. No, beauty. Sri means beauty. And Edamana. What is that?
Naivan Abhidhatum vai Tvam Akinchana Bhava. My Lord, your Lordship can easily be approached, but only by those who are materially exhausted. Because one who is on the path of material progress, trying to improve himself with respectful parentage, great competence, high education, and bodily beauty cannot address you with sincere faith.
To this point here, the same thing she's saying, that he cannot go near the Lord. You follow? Cannot go near the Lord. I think this point is also spoken by Narada Muni. Yes? Do you know? Narada Muni also spoke it. 10:10. 10:10 Ada. Especially those. Hello? Have you got it?
After 18. Okay. Narada Muni said, among all the attractions of materialism, the attraction of riches bewilders one's intelligence more than having beautiful bodily features, taking birth in an aristocratic and being less. When one is uneducated but falsely puffed up by wealth, the result is that one engages his wealth in enjoying wine, women, and gambling.
Then, how one is captured. Yes? I think in that verse, 11:26, King Hayat is speaking. Right? Among all these things, he said the woman is the worst. No? You know, 11:26, what? Huh? Have you got it? 12, is it? Yeah.
What is the use of a big education or the practice of austerities and renunciation? And what is the use of studying religious scriptures, of living in solitude and silence, if after all that one's mind is stolen by a woman?
Love. Huh? Hello. You see how all fits in. Huh? And you cannot, even if you stay in the mood of goodness also, it is not that you are not going to escape. There's no way that lust coming from what? The mode of passion. Is the all devouring sinful enemy, yes? But goodness is also not. Why? Because you cannot remain in goodness perfection. You cannot remain in the goodness perfection. You understand this point? Why? Defeated by other modes, another reason. Why? Another very important one. Pride. Goodness. Can you go to the verse? You know where that verse? 7, 15, 44. 44. I think it's 43, 44.
Sattva.
Huh?
Sattva. No, Sanskrit.
Can you read this?
In the conditioned stage, one's conceptions of life are sometimes polluted by passion and ignorance, which are exhibited by attachment, hostility, greed, lamentation, illusion, fear, madness, false prestige, insult, fault finding, deception, envy, intolerance, passion, bewilderment, hunger, and sleep. All of these are enemies. Sometimes one's conceptions are polluted by goodness.
Sometimes one's conception are also.
Are also polluted by
You missed out that word also.
very important.
It's a very important word, you know, that also. Correct? Polluted by good. You see, so in other words, if you are in the mood, either goodness, passion, or ignorance, you are subject to contamination, pollution, and also sinful actions. Yes? Are you following me?
Yes.
Hello?
Yes.
Huh?
Then this kingly activities and all goodness are like just now we discussed Prachina by that also come under goodness and kingly.
Which one? Prachina Bhai. Completely. His mood of passion. The kings are always in the mood of what? Passion. So you see how you will be contaminated in all means. Then how to escape this thing then? How to escape this thing? Huh? How? What?
Mamcha Abhya Vicharena Bhakti Sarunam Sam.
The solution is you have to come out of the mood. The solution is you have to
Come on.
and coming out of the mood cannot be stipulated by any means other than taking shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord. Yes? Where is this verse? That unless you take shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord, you cannot come out. 11? 11, 13.
Daivahi Shagunamai.
Huh?
Daivahi Shagunamai. Mama Maya.
7, 13.
7:14.
No, we are talking about unless. Unless you take shelter of the Lord, yeah, of course. 7, 14. The Devi is Guna Maya, Mama Maya. Man eva prapadyante. Mayam etan. Yes. So if you, unless you surrender to the Lord, you cannot overcome these modes of domination. I was also thinking of another word. 5, 5, 6.
5, 6.
So in this verse, you can see evam manaha karma vasham prayunjate. Avidya, see again, you see, evam manaha karma vasham. You know, this word is karma vasa means when you keep your mind in this what? Karma vasam prayunjate. What happens? The first thing that happened, what is that? What is that? Hello? What is the first thing that happens when you go into this self purification? Huh? Avidya, ignorance.
Is covered by ignorance.
He gets covered by ignorance. Of course, unless he's ignorant, how you can do this thing? Is it possible? Is it possible? You cannot. Unless you are ignorant, you cannot do sinful work. Is it not? Common sense, no? Yes. Unless you are ignorant, you will not do sinful work. So avidya is very important word here. When is lost, covered, upadhi. Upadhi means what? Destinated like that, covered. So the only way to come out of this, it is explained in this verse. Can you go to the translation?
When the living entity is covered by the mode of ignorance, He does not understand the individual living being and the supreme living being, and his mind is subjugated by. Therefore, until one has love for Lord Vasudeva, who is none other than myself, he is certainly not delivered from having to accept the material body again and again.
Do you have this point here? Unless one develops love for specifically Vasudeva, not the demigod, not to your family, not to what? Anything else. In the Bhagavad Gita also it says, no, unless you surrender to me, of course Krishna said gently, Sarva Dharma Parityajam. He said it politely, you pardon all varieties of religion, I will deliver you. In other words, unless you surrender, you're not going to get delivered. Two ways, One way is say like that, the other way is that you don't surrender, you won't get delivered. Correct? You surrender to me, you will be delivered. If you don't surrender, you won't be delivered. Common sense, right? Yeah. In other words, if you don't surrender to Krishna, you're not going out. Finish. It's a common, complete period. And not only that, if you don't surrender, you also going to get all bad qualities.
Yeah.
And when you get all these bad qualities, you become bewildered, you commit more sinful activities, and then you will become more entangled, and gradually that's why Aneka is not that's 16:16.
Yes.
Aneka
Chitta.
Vibranta Mohajala. Jala means what? Net. Jala means what? It's a net. So you get completely entangled in this net of what? Sinful life. And then you go to understand. So you see, we are now, because today's subject is the punishment in hell, but we are now talking about how you go to such a situation. And once you go there, then there is no way you can come out. Not that go like Indian High Court, appeal. Appeal will go on until you die. Also, appeal is going on. Correct? You see, this is the mundane court, but in the court of Yamaraj, there is no appeal, no nothing. He won't even ask you to explain. No. Just by seeing you, immediately he realized all your things. And then he sends you immediately to the respective punishment. You understand this point? Whether you believe or you don't believe, it is immaterial. Now you can argue, what is hell and all heaven, all story. Somewhat. So when you are put into that situation, there's no question of story. There's question of what? Punishment. That's it. You go straight. Then how you going to get? God, this is another. How you going to get saved? How? What do you think? How you going to get saved? You're now stuck in hell. How you going to get saved? Tell me.
Do we really get chance in hell?
There's no temple there, there's no devotee there, there's nothing. How? What is your how? You cannot chant the holy name also. Forget it. You won't be able to. Because you're bewildered. Yes, all you know. See, in the heavenly planet there's happiness, correct? Temporary, but and then in the earthly planet there is what? Anxiety. That's what? But the hellish planet there is only what? Pain. So pain, anxiety, and happiness. So if you go there, you're only going to be what? Living in pain. So how to be saved now? I mean, now we are compassionate. First you are in ignorance, now you are suffering. So how to save? Your hands are tight. Your hands are what? There's no question. Just now we read. What you read? Is what? Put into under commission. And is subject to severe pain. Yes? Hello?
Yes.
So how to come out of this? Can anyone tell me now?
Recently we had a drama.
It goes 6, 1, 50, 50 or 52, something there. There's, I mean, the three conditions are there. Pain, you go there, 6, 1, 51, 52, I think it's there. So, you see, now you can open your mouth, they ask you to chant, all this, you talk big story. Yeah. But no time. I'm busy. But when you go there, there's no question. There's no what?
No.
That's it. You saw that book? 51. 6, 1, 50. Prabhupada gave a class on 5, 6, 6, 1, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55. He gave a class on this whole thing. And it's a very important class actually. You understand? It's not that, Prabhupada speaks whimsically or something. So here, you see,
the subtle body is endowed with 16 parts, the 5 knowledge acquiring senses, the 5 working senses, the 5
why
objects
don't
of
you clean up that place? Someone,
5 objects of sense gratification and the mind. This subtle body is an effect of the 3
why
modes of
put like
material
that in
nature.
front of the Lord? Come on, just get a plastic bag and put all that inside. Why do like this?
This subtle body is an effect of the 3 modes of material nature. It is composed of insurmountably strong desires, and therefore it causes the living entity to transmigrate from one body to another in human life, animal life, and life as a demigod. When the living entity gets the body of a demigod, he is certainly very jubilant. When he gets a human body, he is always in lamentation. And when he gets the body of an animal, he is always upright. In all conditions, however, he is actually miserable. His miserable condition is called samsmriti or transmigration in material life.
Yes. See? So pain. I mean, you are pain. There's no devotees down there to what? Preach to you or help you. Absolutely no. So what you think would be the solution? Huh?
Are there any rare cases like recently we did one drama when a devotee comes to
Please, the devotee will not go to hell. He's not going to go to hell. He's going to see you and talk to you and save you. Forget it. It's not going to happen. Huh? Why does Yamaraj doesn't speak to them? No, Yamaraj will not speak. He will simply sentence you. Yes, the compassion is because before you went there, they were telling you 1,000,000 times. Huh? Over and over again, they were warning you, please don't do it. What your reply? Stop some stories or fairy tales. What? Fairy tale. Right? It's what? What is it? So how to be safe in that situation? I want to know. What do you think is the answer?
No idea.
No idea. Anybody have any idea?
At least
Huh? Hello?
how to get saved in heaven. Like in sixth canto,
Huh?
first chapter, Pandit Maharaj asked the same how these people will get
So this question will be coming in the next. 6:1, Parikshit Maharaj is asking how to deliver this people. Narakan Nara, Prabhupada gave this class many times, It's Narakan Nara, Sanskrit.
Which sloka?
What is that? Where are you?
6 chapter, sloka. 6.
No, 6:1, why? Not 6:14 though.
6.
Huh? 6:16. Can you go?
Naraka.
Narakan Nara, yeah, this is the one. Where is it? What is it?
616.
Huh?
616.
6:16. What is that? 6:14 there.
No, 6.
Yeah, you see there on the screen. Hello?
Start.
So here you can see this was the compassion. After you heard all this hellish planet, you want to know how they can be delivered. Right? So he's asking,
Oh, greatly fortunate and opulent Sukadeva Goswami. Now kindly tell me how human beings may be saved from having to enter such conditions in which they suffer terrible pains.
now he is not talking about how to save those who are in hell, He's talking about what?
Prevention.
From having to enter. Be saved from having to enter. Now that's something else. So in other words, if you are in the hellish planet, there's no saving ground unless you're dependent, who happen to become the devotee. You understand? Happen to become the devotee.
Saying,
Oh, that's why Arjuna also said, if I kill all of them, then they will not do the what? Pinda Udaka. So why this Pinda Udaka is very important? Why? Do you know why everybody in India who are serious? Pinda, why? We all have to do Pinda. Huh? Pitra Paksha, they have to do. Why? You go back to that verse 6:1 something. You go Bhagavad Gita 6:1 what?
no, 1,
No, sorry. 140. Yeah.
42.
142. Okay, go there. You see. So why this is important? You see, it's not that the whole thing is whimsical. Man, please try to understand. It is all based on trying to help. You are there suffering. You are finished. You are what? You are finished.
140. 141.
See here in this verse, Lupto Pindu Udak Kriyaha. Can you
An increase of unwanted population certainly causes hellish life both for the family and for those who destroy the family tradition. The ancestors of such correct families fall down because the performances for offering them food and water are entirely stopped.
So when a person does this pinda, you understand? Actually is offering to Vishnu. So if we offer some food, prasad, to the departed soul, from the offering of the Lord, then that soul gets a chance. Gets a chance. He gets a. That's why this ceremony is very much encouraged. But you devotees don't do this thing. Why? Why you devotees you don't do? No need to do. Why?
Yeah.
What's the reason? Why you don't do?
Yeah.
What?
Even in this purport, the answer.
Why you don't do? Hello? 11 Devarishi Bhutapta. Simply by performing devotional service, one can deliver hundreds and thousands of forefathers from all kinds of misery. Below here, that verse is, this is the verse. So there's a difference. The moment you become a devotee, when you start chanting, you understand? The chain reaction of that chanting is so powerful that it delivers hundreds and thousands of people who are either suffering there or somewhere. Huh? Prasadam.
Like
Yeah.
devotees still.
They can put a picture of their departed soul and offer. But the devotee is offering every day. But because he's chanting, and that itself, that's why it says in that verse, go back. You see this verse? Sarvatmana yaha saranam saranyam gato mukundam parihartam. Is that one line there? Because he has taken shelter of the lotus feet of Mukunda, the giver of liberation, giving up all kinds of obligation, and taken to the path in all seriousness, owes neither duties nor obligation to the demigods, sages, general living entities, family members, humankind, forefathers. Complete. Well,
If devotees
there's
do
no
pinda,
law. You want to do this?
wait. To be active.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. We see certain personalities like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and some of our acharyas, they go to Gaya and do Pinda Puja, but they all surrendered souls. Why were they required to do Pinda Puja and all these things?
You never what?
They were all surrendered souls. Why were they required to do Pinda Puja?
Because they want to teach us.
Sorry?
They want to teach us.
Oh.
Just like Arjuna, he doesn't know Krishna is God. Why? Because to teach us. Understand? He is asking question to Krishna so that we will learn. Yes. Hello. He already knew the answer. You think Arjuna did not know? You know. But he's asking for our benefit. Prabhupada is already doing it. He delivering, he is not only doing for his father, he is doing for so many fathers. He did that. So the point is that it is not for devotee, he is already doing it. Because the moment you chant Krishna's name, then everything is already seen. Sarvat, that word, just now. Gato Mukundam Pariharta, complete.
But still, then why did they do the puja then?
They are doing it to show you an example. You can also go and do. Why you don't want to do?
No, I just understand why they
shouldn't
because
do? Why they shouldn't do?
because it says the one who is surrendered, he is not required.
Yes, but the lotus feet of the Lord, you can also go. Why you cannot worship the lotus feet of the Lord? Understand? So if you don't do, you're also worshipping the lotus feet of the Lord. You mean the lotus feet of the Lord here is different from the one in there? Hello? They're different. What? Only must go to Gaya is not enough power. Same thing was. What's his name? Madhavendra Puri. He was found Gopal, correct? And the Gopal wanted, because so long he's under the ground, he was feeling so hot, he wanted some sandalwood paste. Yes. And then he went to where? Puri. He got all the sandalwood and he was going to carry to Vrindavan. But when he went to
Ramuna. Ramuna.
Shirchor Gopinath, huh?
Ramuna.
Ramuna, he went there and the Lord told him, why are you carrying this there? You put on me is the same as that. There's no difference. Yeah. So the point is this, that for devotee, because he is surrendering to Krishna, so everything is taken care. See, Prabhupada is writing in the purpose. He is delivering what? So you see how a devotee is so important. Because let's say you are there in hell and you are caught. Then how are you going to get delivered? Tell me.
If at least our
Huh?
if at least children become devotee,
What?
if at least next generations become devotee, anyone of
I don't understand.
if any one of the next generations become devotees, then from our
If anyone becomes devotee, then whoever is connected to that soul all get the benefit. I am now putting in this point that if you are trapped in hell, then how are you going to be delivered? Huh?
descendants can deliver.
Who? Actually, it says those who got no dependence and they are in the hell, the next birth they become Yamakuta.
Oh my God! Wow. Anywhere mentioned?
Yeah, it's mentioned. Come on. If you don't have dependence,
Oh,
that means you stay in hell perpetually. You become what? Warden, jail warden, you know.
dogs.
Hopefully the dog can deliver you. Can you imagine? You know, now we are thinking, we are reading about it. Yeah, you can talk about it. I'm sorry. Suppose you are there, then how are you going to come out of this mess? You think carefully now.
Yeah.
What? Hello? Or let's say one of your close relatives is there. How to help it?
Then, according to this, relatives also get delivered.
Huh?
According to this, relatives also, right?
Yeah, Prabhupada said generation.
Generations.
Where is that word? Generation. That 12, they say what, 21 generations, right? 21 generations of forefathers. That means this life, last life, whichever life you have been. So you see how important it is for us to open our mouth and say, Hare Krishna. Take shelter of Krishna. Huh? Any devotees. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu definition is a Vaishnava is someone who can want the holy name of the Lord.
But
Actually, when I was in the hospital, who was there with me? Of course, you are not with you came with me visiting. Where's this guy gone? There, he's there. You were there, no? I was preaching to the guy across, no? Illiterate, you know, completely illiterate. Do you have the video? Did you record it? No, you never.
Shared.
But it's in Malay, huh?
No. We'll do some.
It is in what? Malay language. Because he's illiterate. He cannot speak English also. Of course, very broken English. Of course, I'm sitting in this side of the bed. I think you visited me, right? I was this side, right? And the guy was across, you know. I was talking to him. And talking to him, explaining, you see, you're going to eat meat here. Next life, you know, it's going to be bad. You're going to take birth as animal. It's going to be very big. Oh, really? What? How can I come out of it? You chant Hare Krishna. He couldn't even chant. Hare Krishna. But then he managed. He chanted Hare Krishna, couple of times. So I was thinking in my mind, this man, how that he had to come to that wall, how I have to come here, and how all the people have to speak to him. And he chanted the name, he took the flyer of our temple, you know. I was thinking this man is extremely important. Whatever he has done, he chanted the name of Krishna. So you see how important it is to get connected. That's why he says, if you are connected to Krishna, and everything is now the word Vasudeva. Those who are, unless they have developed love for me, correct? So see how the whole program would be. That's why Satsanga, what is that? Sadhu Sangha, Sadhu Sangha? Sarva Shastra 4. Navamantra Sadhu Sangha. See how many things are the devotee is going to give you benefit. You understand this point? How many things? Delivering, helping. That's why the devotee is what? All seeing. What is it? What was the word that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu quoted when he told Sanatana? Akshano ho. My eyes is purified. My what? Yeah. Can you read this one?
जिह्वाफलं त्वदृश कीर्तनं हि सुदुर्लभः भागवत हि लोके. My dear Vaishnava, seeing a person like you is the perfection of one's eyesight. Touching your lotus feet is the perfection of the sense of touch. And glorifying your good qualities is the tongue's real activity. For in the material world, it is very difficult to find a pure devotee of the Lord.
It's very difficult to find. Understand? So you please try to understand what kind of a benefit you're going to carry with you if you just open your mouth and say, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama. How you are delivering unlimited souls. Yes. That's the whole idea. You see why? You think how Prabhupada he went. You know?
Yeah.
Huh?
Putram hina griham sunyam.
Yeah. Putra means naraka.
Punnama narakatraniti.
Pitra Punda Priya Janam. And then Putra also means he deliver you from
Punnama.
provided the Putra is no Mutra. Understand? If it's a Mutra, then you have to cry only. And then nothing else can happen. So please take it a little seriously that you are chanting and you are doing a very, very great service to so many souls. For now, this very moment, someone is there crying. Hello? You know now? Lord Vishnu went down. They were crying. Yes. Isn't it? Ekadasi. The Lord went down and there was so much crying. He was so much pain. You know in the Ekadasi story, right? What is it?
He is seated in everyone's heart. He might have known even if he did not.
Of course he knows, he doesn't know, but physically he goes to show. He's in the heart, he knows, right? I know every living entity. Me, no one knows, as Krishna said. So he is trying to tell. Why he has to tell? Because we have to learn. Why we are saying, that is hell, all the big story. That is hell. So this has to show us that, look, you are going in for terrible suffering. And when you get inside that, there's no deliverance. That's no what? Nahi paritran. Hello. You're going to be crying from the morning to the evening, to the morning to the evening. Constantly pain. Understand this point? So that chanting is very, very. You understand? Hello? Huh?
So when the relatives pass away, if the descendants do something like this pinda, at least there is some benefit. But many people also think that their parents or they have gone to heaven. Nobody likes to think that their parents or anybody went to heaven.
There. When the person passes, try to understand. All these are not just some fiction. These are stories which what the person goes through in his life. And these all are very painful things. We don't want to get into pain. That is our whole, what we say, purpose. Now everyone is pleasure seeking. Everyone wants pleasure. Nobody wants pain. Who wants pain? Nobody. Yes. And mind you, if you are put into a painful situation, you will be devastated. You'll be. So please take it a little seriously. That's all. All you need to do what? What is that verse 240? What is that? Bhagavad Gita 240. Neha Vikram Nasosti Pratyavayo na vidyate Svalpamapi api prayatya Trayato Mahato Bayat. What is this Mahato Bayat? Hello? Are you following me? Are you listening? What is this Mahato Bayat? Mahato means what? What? Topmost. Mahato means the Bayat means topmost danger. Topmost fear. You got it?
In this endeavor, there is no loss or diminution, and a little advancement on this path can protect one from the most dangerous type of fear.
This one thing is repeated 3 times, in the Bhagavad. Do you know? Do you know? 3 times on this thing. In another place is 8, 5, 8, 5 what? 47, 48, 85, 48. Right? See this thing.
1517, right? 1517.
1, 5, 17. Another place.
That normal verse.
Tekvas
Dharmam.
Yeah, here also. But no, go to 8, 5. What are you doing? Hello? Can you read this sentence English?
Sanskrit.
Can you read this?
नावमः कर्म कल्पोऽपि विफलायेश्वरार्पितः कल्पते पुरुषस्यैव स ह्यात्मादयितो हितः. Activities dedicated to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, even if performed in small measure, never go in vain. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, being the Supreme Father, is naturally very dear and always ready to act for the good of the living entities.
See that? Even a small endeavor doesn't go in. Huh? Hello? Another place. Huh? 11:29. Huh? 11:29:20. Check it out.
नह्यङ्गोपक्रमे ध्वंसो मद्धर्मस्योद्धवान्वपि मया व्यवसितः सम्यङ् निर्गुणत्वाद् अनाशिषः. My dear Uddhava, because I have personally established it, this process of devotional service unto me is transcendental and free from any material motivation. Certainly, a devotee never suffers even the slightest loss by adopting this process.
See? Never suffers the slightest loss. Hello? You must be a fool if you don't want to open the mouth and chant Hare. There's no other word for you. What is it? Fool. Mudoham nabijananti. What? What is that? So please, take it a little seriously. That's all. You say that's now, that's what you saw, right? It takes a what? A little, 8, 5, 48. It takes a little seriously. Huh? You know how much you're going to be saved. Please try to understand. This is so important, very, very important. That's why he says in the another verse, yeah? 11:9, what is that? Latva Bahu Sambandhe. Yeah? This verse. It says, before your body is going to fall down and die. Is that verse? Turnam yatetana patet anumrityum yavan. See this verse, this line? Turnam yateta. Huh? Before your body has fallen and died. Huh? Anumrityum. So before you're going to fall down and die, you should endeavor. Can you read this? Hello?
लब्ध्वा सुदुर्लभमिदं बहु सम्भवान्ते मानुष्यमर्थदमनित्यमपीह धीरः तूर्णं यतेत न पतेदनुमृत्यु यावन्निःश्रेयसाय विषयः खलु सर्वतः स्यात्. After many births and deaths, one achieves the rare human form of life, which, although temporary, affords one the opportunity to attain the highest perfection. Thus, a sober human being should quickly endeavor for the ultimate perfection of life, as long as his body, which is always subject to death, has not fallen down and died.
That point there. That subject to death. So you should quickly endeavor before it has fallen down and died. Hello? Your main thing in this life is to chant Hare Krishna. All this other thing is a waste of time. This thing. Because it's not going to benefit you. In fact, these activities you're going to do, subject to what? severe reaction. That's why it is again said another word, 555. You know, he said, all this karma you're doing, either good or bad, it's all waste of time. You follow? See this? Did we finish reading that one just now? Oh, we read already. Yeah. Point was. Is it this word here?
पराभवस्तावदबोधजातो यावन्न जिज्ञासत आत्मतत्त्वं यावत् क्रियास्तावदिदं मनो वै कर्मात्मकं येन शरीरबन्धः. As long as one does not inquire about the spiritual values of life, one is defeated and subjected to miseries arising from ignorance. Be it sinful or pious, karma has its resultant actions. If a person is engaged in any kind of karma, his mind is called karmatmaka, colored with fruitive activity. As long as the mind is impure, consciousness is unclear, and as long as one is absorbed in fruitive activity, he has to accept a material body.
Accept a material body, either in the hellish planet, that is also material body. No, please don't think material body means another human body. Please. Hello. Huh? So don't try to supersede the laws of God. Understand? Be safe, then be sorry. Be safe. Correct? How to be safe? What is the safety thing? Is to quickly open the mouth and chant. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. And you will be definitely delivered. Anyone who chants is going back. Period. No question. You understand? Anyone who chants is going back to God. That is Krishna's mercy. Any other questions? Yes, you further think.
Huh? Oh, you run around on the mic. Fast.
He doesn't want you to save. He wants. What is that question?
Prabhu, how to help our relatives or especially the parents from going to hellish planets if because of their activities, if they are supposed to go for hellish planets. So how to save them, Prabhu, or
You
protect?
chant. By you chanting, that is the saving grace. You understand? That is the main thing. You try to chant. And Krishna will take care of everything else. That's why when Prahlada, my father, he did so many nonsense to you, you please delay. No, Prahlada, because you are devotee, 21 generations ago. Yeah, you don't have to ask questions. You have been a devotee means so many auspicious. Are there 7, 9, 10? No, that's what. Viprat. You see that word? Hello?
You only read Brahmin.
If a Brahmana has all 12 of the Brahminical qualifications, as they are stated in the book called Sanat Sujata, but is not a devotee and is averse to the lotus feet of Lord, he is certainly lower than a devotee who is a dog eater but who has dedicated everything, mind, words, activities, wealth, and life to the Supreme Lord. Such a devotee is better than such a Brahmana, because the devotee can purify his whole family, whereas the so-called Brahmana in a position of false prestige cannot purify even himself. But Prabhu, we are still, I myself is just practicing right now. I don't know even if
Don't
I'm
worry
chanting.
about yourself. You are not going back anyway. But Krishna is looking at you. That's how devotees think. We think that we are not qualified. We are bogus. We are fallen. That devotee has to think like that. If we start thinking, Prabhu, you know who I am? You know how many rounds I chanted today? Come on, there is nonsense. You understand? Devotee must always think that he is not a devotee. You follow? Huh? What is that word that he says? Ushira. Krishnadas Kaviraj is saying he is what? Word lower than the Usera. Usera means stool. Worm in the stool. Hello. You see how he is thinking? So you see, this devotee should think like that. Whether he is going to get delivered or not, that's Krishna's hands. You understand? But general rule, if he's a devotee, then yes, he's delivered. You understand this? Hello? You got that version? Usiri. I mean, come on, what? No, it is. See the word? Puri sera kita. Aite muni se lagista. You see that? Can you read the thing?
I am more sinful than Jagai and Madai, and even lower than the worms in the stool.
See how he is thinking. He never think that, oh, I'm a pure devotee, Prabhu. What? Who are you? Huh? He doesn't talk like that. You follow? That is called what? Vishuddha Buddhi. Huh? Vimukta Manina, Vishuddha Buddhi. Contaminated consciousness. Devotees are thinking like this. 2028. Antya. So, see, all these things are for us to learn, you know, how to behave, how to think, how to act. This is how you develop love for the Lord. You follow?
Whenever there is a relationship of love of Godhead, its natural symptom is that the devotee does not think himself a devotee. Instead, he always thinks that he has not even a drop of love for Krishna.
You understand this? You follow? So don't worry how your parents are going to be delivered or not. That's not in your hand. Your job is to what? Chant Hare Krishna and try to love the Lord. Okay. So I am speaking because knowledge. What is what we say? The symptom, the qualification, the attributes, the conditioning, all pertaining to hellish life, devotee life, how to get delivered, how to get. I think I covered everything today. How your senses will contaminate you and you will go to hell. And when you are in hell, there's no question of deliverance. How to get delivered? Let someone help you. So why in Malaysia they say, sembayang la belum disembayangkan. You know what it means in Malay? Hello, what it means? Better you pray before you get prayed for. Yes. So better to pray ourselves rather than get someone to pray for you. You trust someone, oh, my relatives will do the job. Yes. Good luck. Understand? Okay, any more questions?
When Parikit Maharaj asking to Sukadev Goswami that how they can be delivered hell, Sukadev Goswami, they cannot deliver. Before death come only there is atonement. Hell there is no atonement. Only before death comes only we have to do atonement. Same thing, before even better to pray before you prayed for. I mean, better.
Right, the same point. So you see how your human life is so valuable. Don't misuse it. Don't again and again. Why? Right? Okay. Anything else to add? Anyone? Yes.
What's 421,
431,
46, 47?
431, 46, 44, 21.
Please read that. How I can make it? Hey, why you pass my command?
They all declared that the Vedic conclusion that one can conquer the heavenly planets by the actions of a putra or son was fulfilled by the most sinful Vena who had been killed by the curse of the Brahmanas, was now delivered from the darkest region of hellish life by his son Maharaj Prithu. Then the next one also. Similarly, Hiranyakashipu, who by the dint of sinful activities always defied the supremacy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, entered the darkest region of hellish life. But by the grace of his great son, Prahlad Maharaj, he was delivered and went back home, back to Godhead.
King Vena did not go to, what is it? No, he's safe, See, by the grace of his son. No, you never actually go. Anyway, have to go because his character is such, Huh? Even Vena, he was born as a leper, And his his son went to find him and then delivered him. And they are great personalities, no ordinary soul. So, anything else before we stop here? No more questions?
If devotees choose this,
Huh?
if devotee do anything,
Devotees do sinful activities. He must be a real fool.
what is his condition? Neither hell nor
Devotees, if they do sinful activities, then they have to come back again.
Right.
If they fall down, then they will come back as an animal, as a tree, as a bird, all this. And then next life they go home back. So you see again, if a devotee falls down, there's another verse, 11:28. 11:28, 25. See, devotees is little different, what we say, category. They fall down. You see, goes here. Not this verse, Can you go 25, 26, maybe 28? No, not 28. It should be 25, 11, 28, 25. You can say family, hello. They fall down because of,
there's someone in mind. Was yeah. 11,
11:28. This is the word family there. Is it type family?
Yeah.
20?
9.
29. Yeah, 29.
Kuyogi.
So for devotee, this happens.
Sometimes the progress of imperfect transcendentalists is checked by attachment to family members, disciples, or others who are sent by envious demigods for that purpose. But on the strength of their accumulated advancement, such imperfect transcendentalists will resume their practice of yoga in the next life. They will never again trapped in the network of.
See? So they got a chance. Next life again, they go home back to God. So the different situations. Devotees are always, they get a lot of good backing. Okay, you all are devotees, I'm sure you all are going back home, back to God. I don't think Hellish planet is going to be even this verse, 6:1:19. They don't even see in dreams.
Yeah.
Devotees should not see Yamaraj even in dreams. So, okay. Thank you so much. Today is Ekadasi.
Yes. Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki.